We begin in Washington, where top trade negotiators for Canada and the U.S. met once again today, and once again, they walked away with no deal.
36 hours, 50%, and still no deal.
We're going to continue working. Our job is not yet done. Thank you.
If a deal is not made in the next 48 hours, Canada faces 50% tariffs across hundreds of goods. The CBC
Carney's next move is coming, but can Canada hold the line? Here is where it really stands.
I'm Lindsay Duncombe, and this is The Current Podcast.
For us, this is not a trade war. We have domestic supply chains we're trying to protect and support. That's what we're trying to do. It's not Canada specific. It's, we're doing this globally. If a country retaliates against us, we're obviously not going to tolerate that. We'll take it.
Canada and the United States are down to the wire. At midnight Wednesday, a 50% tariff hits hundreds of Canadian goods. Ottawa says it will not sign a bad deal.
Energy and Natural Resources Minister Tim Hodgins, thanks for joining us, Minister.
Good to be here.
So I want to get to today's news about the Churchill Falls deal, but first, I can't not ask you about the impending deadline that we're facing. Canada could be facing 50% tariffs on a whole host of new products. Do you believe those tariffs will come into effect on Wednesday?
These are Section 338 tariffs, 50% on everything from wine to cement to hockey sticks, and they apply even to goods covered by the trade deal.
Is the trade backlash inside the United States reaching a breaking point over new tariffs on Canada? As Washington pushes forward with aggressive trade rules, business leaders, auto manufacturers, and consumers across America are raising serious concern about rising costs and supply chain disruptions. Welcome back to Joshu Reaction. I am Frank John, bringing you clear facts, real updates, and educational news analysis. To all my dedicated viewers across from the USA and Canada, our faith and we firmly stand that in God we trust. If you want plain, natural breakdowns of US and Canadian news without any hype, hit the subscribe button right now. Let's jump straight into the facts. The economic relationship between the US and Canada is deeply integrated. From raw metals and energy to essential manufacturing components, American industries depend heavily on steady Canadian imports to keep factories running. When steep tariffs are applied to these imports, Canadian producers aren't the only ones affected. American importers pay those duties directly. Major industries across the US are experiencing cost spikes, which are then passed down directly to everyday American shoppers at checkout. Take the automotive and manufacturing sectors as a prime example. Supply chains cross the US-Canada border multiple times before a final vehicle or machine is assembled. Applying heavy tariffs at each stage eats up profit margins and forces companies to raise vehicle prices. Because these trade measures drive up domestic inflation, backlash from American business groups and lawmakers is growing. Pressures is mounting on Washington to negotiate workable trade agreements rather than risking deeper economic damage at home. On the Canadian side, businesses and policymakers are not standing still. Canada is taking active steps to strengthen domestic purchasing while expanding trade partnerships across Europe and Asia. By lowering overall trade reliance on a single partner, Canada is building stronger economic resilience for the long haul. Now, I want to hear your perspective. While rising consumer costs force Washington to adjust its tariff policies, and is Canada's strategy of global trade diversification the right long-term move? Leave your answers in the comment section below. Thanks for watching Joshu Reaction, and always I said in God we trust. God bless Canada, God bless America, and I'll see you in the next breakdown. Take care, talk soon. Bye bye.